Today we're making a pizza. Starting with our homemade crust, we're gonna make a sauce that's fresh that we don't have to cook. Then we're gonna build this baby. Let's do this.
Okay, for our pizza dough, we're gonna start with 1 1/4 cups of water and a half a teaspoon of sugar. Gonna give it a little stir and dissolve the sugar. And then we are going to add 1 1/2 teaspoons of yeast. Give it a good stir. We are blooming the yeast, so we don't have to wait so long to get it activated and rising. And we're gonna let it sit for 10 to 15 minutes, and it should turn into a foam, a yeasty foam. Now we are ready to assemble our dough. We're gonna put it on low speed, and we're gonna add our bread flour. We have 2 1/2 cups of bread flour, and we have 1 teaspoon of salt mixed together. And we're going to add this to our yeast mixture. So we add our flour, and then we're going to let this mix until it forms a ball. Okay, now that we have our ball of dough, we're going to lightly dust our cutting board with flour, and we are going to knead our dough. We do this by folding the dough into itself and smashing over and over again. Don't use too much flour, because the more flour you use, the drier your dough is. Just enough to keep your hands from sticking and to keep the dough from sticking to your cutting board. Okay, now you're going to take your dough ball and put it in an oil bowl and cover it with plastic and let it rise for about 1 hour. And now it has risen. Next step. Okay, we're going to lightly flour our cutting board once again. Then we're going to take our dough ball and split it in half. Then we want to take these dough balls, flatten them out, get the air out, and then we're going to kind of squeeze it, something like a bubble, kind of make it into a perfectly round ball by squeezing the bottom of it, kind of fold it into itself to make a perfect smooth round ball, and with the part that's folded, just smash it on the bottom. Okay, now that we have these, we're going to put them on a sheet pan, oiled sheet pan, and we're going to let these rise for an hour. Okay, here we go. Now we can shape our pizzas. Okay, we're going to take our pizza dough, put a little flour on top, then we're going to smash the middle, flatten it out, leaving a little ring on the outside. And then we're going to pick it up and stretch it, using our fists, pulling it apart slowly and spinning it and pulling and spinning and pulling until your desired length, which is about 12 inches. Okay, now we're going to take an oiled iron skillet with some cornmeal on the bottom of it to keep our pizza from sticking. We're going to place our dough inside of this pan and build us some pizzas. But first, we're going to make our pizza sauce. Okay, for the pizza sauce, I'm using whole peel tomatoes, tomato paste, sugar, fresh basil and oregano, garlic, and salt and pepper. Okay, now we're going to get these ingredients in the pot. And we're going to blend them up until they're nice and smooth. And that's it. We do not have to cook this pizza sauce. Okay, now we're going to build a Margherita pizza. We're going to take our fresh pizza sauce, some fresh mozzarella, I got some fresh basil, salt and pepper, and some heirloom tomatoes. And we're going to cook it in the oven on 500 degrees for about 15 minutes. All right. Okay, after 15 minutes, our pizza is done.